just over the hill, and it should be right up here. My god. The number of, actually, it looks like this is going to be a barrow of all the things. The Reach is not a very well-known place for having, well, I don't know. All I'm saying is that the Reach has had nothing but frickin' Dwarven ruins for me lately, which is actually a big surprise. You'd think that the Dwarven ruins would be more concentrated around the borders of Morrowind, you know, more towards the Rift. Oh, hey, you can actually see Solitude from here. Wow, good draw distance. Jeez. Anyway, yeah, I mean, you'd figure that the Dwarven ruins would be more concentrated around Morrowind, because, like, that, well, Morrowind is where the event happened, which was it called the Sundering? I don't remember what it was called. Wow, Volthium.
Look at these stones. The ancestors knew how to build, no doubt.
Indeed is the case, Vald. Anyway, let's go ahead inside. A barrow instead of a freaking Dwarven ruin. Crazy. Oh.
Leave, stranger. Evil stirs in this place. I fear for the security of the very land if it should break free.
Evil? What are you talking about? What's in here? What are you guarding?
We stand at the tomb of Hevnorak, who has been dead for many generations. I fear, however, that his return may be at hand.
In the past, when I've encountered awakening evil, there's always been a way to stop it. Can that be done here?
I have been holding him here. While he regains strength, however, I am fading. By now, I can barely contain his power, much less defeat him if he awakens. But with the help of a living champion, I may be able to succeed.
There is something inside of this temple I require. I'm going in either way. So I shall aid you. What must be done?
You would do this? 3 vessels in the tomb below hold the power to vanquish Hevnorak. Before anything else, we need those. Bring them to me, but be careful, mortal. They are guarded by Hevnorak's minions. They will stop at nothing to see their master return.
So you're saying it's possible to vanquish he who is sealed here with the right reagent?
With those 3 vessels, Hevnorak can restore himself. Find them before he can.
But why was Hevnorak sealed?
He had a way of enthralling people, and built up a loyal army of followers. Good men fell under his spell, and were forever twisted, made evil. After that, fear was enough to keep them in line. He could torture and humiliate them, and they would not rebel. Even in death, they serve him still.
And why are you here? What is your task?
Hevnorak planned his resurrection obsessively before dying. My duty in life and in death is to make sure he stays in this tomb for eternity.
And to be completely clear, once more, what must I do to prevent this from happening?
Find the 3 vessels within Valhalla, then return to me. With these, we can defeat him.
Well then, wish me luck. Hello, anybody here? There must be someone else standing up in one of these little... No, looks like not. Oh man, but... Jeez, random number generation. Random number generation cannot... Well, I can stand random number generation, and I can't stand it at the same time. I mean, so here's an example, okay? Like, random number generation plays a fairly large role here in Skyrim. But it's what you would call a weighted die, as it were. Bethesda has some history with doing random number generation, unlike... And they've done it wrong in the past, and they've done it better in other games. So, like, here in Skyrim, I feel that random number generation is done well, as opposed to, you know, like, how it's been done poorly in other games out there. Excuse me. Man, I got something in my throat today. Sorry, Vault, I did not mean to, damage you like that. But... So, I'll give you an example in this capacity. Like, in Skyrim, it was... Or, not Skyrim. Bleh, what am I saying? In Oblivion, alchemy functioned by actually collecting the component. Like, you had to collect all of the actual, like, basically the chemistry set. You had to collect all the pieces of the chemistry set to be able to... Oh, boy, that's a Death Lord. You had to collect up all the pieces of the chemistry set, basically, to do alchemy. You know, you didn't have to go to a pre-built table in an inn or something. So the thing is, you could do alchemy anywhere in the world that you wanted to. Haha! Alright, that should have been a grand soul. So you could run around and craft potions anywhere that you wanted, but the alchemy equipment that you had determined the quality of the potions you would end up making. So, in the case of the equipment that you collected, it came in a variety of qualities. You know, so like there was apprentice, there was novice and apprentice and journeyman and expert and master level potion making in the game. So the problem is that random number generation was the only method by which to find the master level equipment. And whenever I was like knees deep, well, not knees deep, whenever I was like super into Oblivion, I looked up the chances, like the random number generation drop chances of finding the top tier alchemy equipment, and it was like 0.03 or something. It was, I think it came out to something in the ballpark of like, you would have to check 300 boss level chests before you mathematically would reasonably end up finding one or something like that. It was like, yeah, that's how many freaking, you know, boss level, which, you know, Oblivion had a boss level chest, just like how there's a super big, really fancy chest at the end of pretty much every dungeon here in Skyrim. Same thing in Oblivion, it's just, so that's an example of random number generation not being done right. And you know, you can do random number generation worse in the case of a roguelike, because, you know, in a roguelike, it's possible to, you have to be careful about soft blocking. You know, it's like, there are one or two dungeons here in Skyrim where you can end up getting soft locked. I think the dungeon that I did it way earlier in this series, called Gyraman's Hall, where you go down and there's a particular nasty down there who is in spectral form, and he just uses you know, Fusra Da on you. And he shouts you across the room, and like you're like, he stun locks you, and you are continuously attacked while you're stun locked. So it's possible to be completely and totally locked into that dungeon, especially given the fact that you have to fall through a big hole to get into it. So you literally cannot just turn around and leave and say, well, this is too much, like, this is too difficult, I need a higher level to be able to finish this dungeon. So that is another Death Lord. Wonderful. So yeah, that's an example of random number generation, and you know, Cray Moon Crash, and the fact that I don't like it. And come to think about it, I don't know whether or not you heard me start the... I don't know that the cut on this video will... I don't know that you'll have heard the start of why I started talking about this, because of the way I cut episodes. But yeah, story, etc. Random number generation. I like it and I don't like it. I think that it's done fairly well here in Skyrim. I think that random number generation is really good whenever it's handled right. Like, RNG is fantastic in, like, Borderlands 2, you know? Borderlands 2 uses random number generation to generate all of its guns. But it's not pure, solid random number generation. It's weighted. It's like, okay, you're this level, so therefore these quality of guns will drop because you're this level. You know? So RNG matters for a whole lot of stuff. But I mean, sometimes it just works against you and it's infuriating. Another example would be Subnautica. Subnautica's a great game. Love the crap out of that game. Did some videos of it too. And the random number generation in some of the tech that you need to find, it's just, oh my god, it just trolls you. So yeah, that's the gist of that. I don't really know that I have any other stories to talk about. Although thinking about the alchemy equipment thing from Oblivion, man, I tell you, I know that they've announced Elder Scrolls 6 more or less to just satiate people and say, yes, we are working on it, but I'll tell you one thing that I would really like to see. Oh my god, I cannot damage these guys for crap with my bow. I have to, like, I'm sneaking through this dungeon, just to be very clear to everybody. The reason I'm sneaking through this dungeon is because I'm trying to level up my my sneak skill, because I'm now part of the Thieves Guild. I'm probably going to try to do the Golden Glow Estate mission fairly soon. I don't know how long I'll wait, but fairly soon. But I'm trying to level up my sneak skill and everything because, well, I mean, I'm actually almost maxed out on my two-handed, you know, my alteration is almost maxed out. Just a little bit more before I have all that stuff up. And, you know, in my personal opinion, whenever you max out a skill in Skyrim, it means it's time to stop using the skill and start using something else. I mean, admittedly, I'm never going to stop using hammers. It's going to be my, you know, it's going to be my backup. Whenever I'm in a tight situation, it's like, oh, hey, it's, someone's about to, you know, kick my ass. How about I pull out my hammer again and I kill them, you know? So that's going to be the attitude. But the general idea I have is, once a skill is maxed, stop using it, switch to another skill. So, yeah. Anyways, I forget what on earth I was talking about at this point. Oh, right, alchemy equipment. So, in because in Oblivion, you could drag all of your alchemy equipment out into the field, and you could brew potions anywhere. You know, like with these fine glass, you know, like an alembic, a calcinator, a retort, and a mortar and pestle. It's like you have fine glass with you, and you just, I'm out in the field, you know, just kind of in a cave, and there's a lich right around the corner who's like looking for me, and he wants to kill me. I need some poisons, so you know, you go and you craft some poisons. Oh, hello. Whoops, didn't do that. Die! Ah, crap. Die! Oh, God. Okay. I will not be defeated by this sarcophagus. Alright. Maybe I'll do it now. What a way to level up my sneak. Sneak attacking with a hammer. I mean, that is the William Strife way to, oh man, that is the William Strife way to take things out. Oh my, that's spiders. Alright then. I think... Oh, I should have figured. Vald, of course they saw Vald. He's not a sneaky one. Alright, anyways, like I was saying, because in Oblivion you could drag all of your alchemy equipment out and into the field and everything, it didn't make any sense. Vald, get over here. So, like, I liked the idea that they put alchemy stations in Skyrim. Ooh. I liked the idea that they put alchemy stations in Skyrim. But, I would have much preferred... Where is it? Ironclaw. I've got... Dragon, Hawk, and Wolf. Okay. So I like the fact that they put alchemy stations in this game. What I much would have preferred is that, you know, the Mages Guild, well, not the Mages Guild, the College of Winterhold would have had, you know, like, particularly good quality mixing stations. Potion shops would have had reasonably good mixing stations. You know, if you found a mixing table in an inn or something, it would be a really basic mixing station. So basically still incorporating that concept of... Oh, are we at the boss chamber? We must be. So, the idea is that you have all of this stuff, like, the quality of your alchemy equipment would carry over as a concept from Oblivion, but instead of being able to use it in the field, you'd have to put it on a station. And specifically, you would only put it on an alchemy station that you own, you know, like inside of your house or something. Oh my god, there are at least 2 death lords in here. Soul capture this piece of undeath walking trash. Oh, you know what? It might be a good idea. Get some health in here. Okay, let's take care of the small guys before we take out this last Death Lord. I want to try to soul capture this Death Lord, but I think... Alright, there we go. Death Lord, die. I shall capture your soul. I mean, at this point, I'm not even capturing souls for a good reason. I'm just doing it because I can. I mean, that's more or less the thing. I don't know. I had an obsession with soul gems, which kind of stands to reason because God damn it. It kind of stands to reason because I had an obsession with... I still have an obsession with normal gemstones in this game. Like, I like the perk Prowler's Prophet that you... There's a perk, it's called Prowler's Prophet, that you get for finishing the Stone of Baron Zaya quest, you know, or the unusual gems. And it just increases the number of gemstones that you find in random loot caches in the game. I love that perk because I have a Scrooge McDuck level of obsession with gemstones. Like, every house that I owned in Skyrim originally had a specific chest where it's like, this is where jewelry and gemstones go. Life, Aura, Whisper. I think that's Life Detect that I just found. Aha! Alright, here we go. Kabazin's Fang. And I'm very surprised. I didn't expect there to be a story associated with this particular dungeon. I mean, I've done all the... like I've said this before, I've done all the dungeons in the game, but I mean, there are so many. How can you remember any of them? How can you commit all of the dungeons to memory? There are only a select few that I ever remember, like the story and everything that goes on. Alright, so with all of that done, I should be able to get back out and up to the top chamber. I must have another boss waiting for me. Alright. Come on, open the frickin' bar. Oh, hey, you know what? I still haven't leveled up. Let's go ahead and take a bit of stamina. And, I think what I want to do is take this, perk to invest in shops. Because I'm gonna have to start, like, seeking out trainers. And I do have I do have another perk here. So, what do I want to take? Fence. Merchant gains 1,000 gold. I might want that last perk in speech eventually, but it's going to be a long time before I reach it. The question is, what do I put the last one in? Well, okay, you know what? Let's just do it. Two-handed. I think yeah, sure enough, Skull Crusher. Alright, now I've completely maxed out everything that I care about in the two-handed tree. I don't care about wounded or bleeding or any of those other things. I just care about raw damage. So, I'm done putting perks into the... Whoopsie. You okay there? Seems it. I'm done putting perks into the two-handed tree. Now it's a matter of other stuff. There goes Dremora. Okay, so... Hey, ghost dude. Hey.
You found the vessels. I was worried that I had sent you to your death.
It wasn't easy to venture into the depths of this barrow. But I have the vessels. And the tomb seems to be empty now. What is left to be done?
In life, Hevnorak drained his own blood from his body. His goal was to transfer his power back into himself after death, becoming a powerful lich. The vessels contain that very blood. Empty them, and you remove any chance he has of regaining his former powers.
You mean to say we are going to resurrect him prematurely? This seems a particularly dangerous plan.
More dangerous than you know. Left alone, however, he will awaken when he has grown too powerful to be stopped. This is the only way to be sure.
If this is the only way, then let's begin.
Very well. Empty the vessels into the sconce near the throne. Then sit in the throne. When you have done so, I will unbind Hevnorak. He will awaken in a weakened state, but the Lich is still to be reckoned with. Be ready.
Oh, wonderful. Okay then, so we're gonna resurrect a Lich. What a fantastic plan. Get my spell up. Get that up. Let's do this. I'm amazed that that blood is still good. You'd figure that it would all be, like, dried out and rotten at this point, but hey, you know, fantasy games and all that stuff. Seems like a trap, almost. Oh my. Alright, well, we've got a Lich to beat down on, and I want to try to capture his soul as well. Hevnorak. Oh my word, is this... I think this might be one of the mask-holding Liches. Oh, well, I say Lich. He's a dragon priest, really. Hevnorak, you don't stand a chance. I keep smashing him with my pick, hoping that I'll actually do some real serious damage, but I don't. Oh, jeez, he fell dead really quick. Hevnorak. Yep, sure enough, look at that. One of the masks. I think there are 8 or 9 in the game. I don't remember. He even has his own special staff. I am not selling either of those. Those are going straight into storage back in Winstad Manor.
Thank you, hero. Now, I may finally rest. Take Hevnorak's iron mask. It may be of use to you, and serve as some reward for your feat here.
Thank you. Go to Sovngarde, my brother. Oh, jeez, he really just vanished there. Well, alright, Valthume, I think is the name of this dungeon. We're done. We're absolutely done. Let's get the hell out of Dodge. I've got some collectibles that I want to get rid of. So I'll probably be heading back to Winstad Manor. You know, do a little bit more housekeeping and whatnot. And then after that, well, I'm gonna have to head back to the college, too.